We have, yes, you're right. You can sort of see it, but can h become sh? Languages 3A and 3B don't appear to be related anymore. Anatokwa. And that's excellent. I'm going to attempt to pronounce some of these things. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to start doing some conlanging. And so we've been working on our language, which we call Eustamia Call. And last week, we made an ancestor language for this language. And we didn't do too much on it. We just started to imagine what kind of a language might have given birth to this language. And so we have some cool protoforms, which we're going to look at. I went through and came up with protoforms for all of the vocabulary that we've come up with so far. But the problem is, and this is probably a personality flaw on my account, I am seized with the desire to make some relatives for Eustamia Call, because it's really cool to see two different languages that have arisen from the same source and how they've differed over time. And so I think part of the fun is to make a language that is different enough to be kind of interesting, but also similar enough to be recognizable. And so we're going to play with that. So basically this segment, for those joining just for this segment, welcome. This is a channel that has lots of conlang stuff. So if you haven't seen the original videos in this series, do check out the playlist, because you'll see how it all develops. But we do lots of conlang stuff, so please do join us, subscribe, all that good jazz. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to start to make some other languages in this family, and you're going to sort of see the process. And so if you are a conlanger and you want to sort of develop your world building skills, you can start to go beyond the one language and make a whole family of languages. And then you can do cool stuff like have them, borrow from each other or influence each other. You can do all sorts of fun stuff. You can have doublets. So, you might have two languages, one which becomes the ultra prestigious imperial language of ultimate excellence or whatever. And then you can have another language which is, not that. And the people who speak that language get conquered by the imperial blah, blah, blah people. And then you get words that came down into the one language just, from one generation to another, subject to all the changes in sounds that occurred in that language. And then you get words that are borrowed from the ultra mighty imperial language. And you get, this is a kind of thing that happened in English, right? So you have things like father and paternal. These two words come from the same source originally, but one has been reborrowed. Or something like loyal, which comes into English from French, and legal, which comes into English from Latin. And so you have two different borrowings of the same ultimate original word. And those are called doublets. So you can do things like that. But it all starts with making more than one language. So let's do this. Let's get the webcam good stuff set up, and we're all going to be very happy. I think I need to move myself over to, maybe I'll move myself over here. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. So we have here's an example of our, so we have Eustamiakal, which is our language that we've been working on. You may remember words such as Apatoma, mountain, Fasana, or Fazana rather, black or dark. We have Masliku, bright or white. We have Papayawi, swan. Konavidi, or Konavidi. I haven't really worked out the stress yet. This word meaning all day long, which comes from night and day. So we have Kona, night, and Fidi, day here. And what I've done in between last week and this week is derive some protoforms. So we have a few rules that govern the relationship between this proto-language and Umlaut. Actually, let me... whoa, yeah. So we can always see our column titles. And if anyone just figured out that's something you can do in Sheets, you're welcome. Okay, so we have things like, one of the big decisions for this proto-language is I wanted it to be all CV. So consonant vowel, strict consonant vowel structure. So all of these consonant clusters that we have in Umlaut, we need to find a way to derive them. And so what I did was a kind of just a quick and easy way of doing this. Added a schwa. Wherever there's a deleted vowel, or wherever there's a consonant cluster or a coda consonant, we have a schwa. So something like, let's say a good example. Apatoma comes from Apatoma. And let's see if I can get it. Oh, here's an easier example. Yakam, or yagam rather, meaning thing. Yagam comes from yakama. So the schwa at the end just drops out in Umlaut. A few other things. The uvulars come from labialized velars. So ko comes from kwa. So the reflexive pronoun lok in Umlaut comes from lakwa, which I think is cool. And I did find some sort of real world precedent for this. I'm not sure exactly the circumstances, but I looked in the Index Diachronica, and lo and behold, there was one instance of a change where labiovelars became uvulars, so why not? Let's just use it. And then we have these beautiful things like fakwale and fahua, which I kind of like. And so what I think we should do is make some languages that are part of the same family, and I think we should make more than one. So, okay, we're getting some good suggestions. Yes. So I also think it would be interesting to not do the intervocalic voicing in one of these other languages. So let's call this just language lang2. Let's get these things all harmonized in terms of their... Why does that look different? Font size. Every time. There we go. Okay, lang2, and we might have a lang3, and depending on how much time this takes, we might even have a lang4. And I think what we should do is take some sort of juicy words that seem like they would have a lot of changes to them, and start with those, and then sort of work out from there. So maybe move this a little bit over to the side. I feel like we have this anatokwa. The reason, by the way, that I have this as a long vowel is just due to the schwa deletion rule. If the schwa was stressed in the proto-language, I had it turned into an e. You can look at the last video for the details on that, but just basically that's how it is. So we have stress on the penultimate syllable if that's a long vowel, and on the antepenultimate syllable. So penultimate, second last, anatokwa if it's a long vowel. Otherwise, we have it on the antepenultimate, which is the third last. So anakwo, alupa, afitohwa, rather than apatoma or anatokwa, yosatako. Okay, so I think, yeah, that's all the explanation that we need, maybe. Let's continue. So we have some two requests, and I love them. They are no intervocalic voicing, which is just allophonic in Umlaut. So none of that, and let's retain the vowel length thing from protocol. Yeah, let's call this protocol. Okay, And we can also mess around with semantic change too, but let's just get some forms on the table first. So what do we say? Apatoma. So we, I think, are going to, I'm just going to put some things over here. So for lang 2, we need some rules. We know what we're not going to do. One thing I think we should do is, why don't we get rid, not of all schwas, or all unstressed schwas, but why don't we get rid of all unstressed vowels, period. So we have this stress pattern in the proto-language, which is very similar to Latin stress patterns. So we have the long vowels attracting stress, otherwise anti-penultimate. So why don't we take that, and why don't we turn it into, okay, yes, let's do this. Let's erase that stress pattern from the lang 2 branch of the family. And let's go to word initial stress. So all of our, fancy stress system is just going to become word initials. So instead of having apatoma, we have apatoma. So what we're going to do is then have this kind of even number rule. So the even numbered syllables are all going to drop out unless there's some sort of really wonky cluster that arises. And this is something that happened in the history of Irish. So that means, yep, you guessed it, aptom. All right, so that's one thing. So let's just write some notes. These are not going to be the most sophisticated expressions of the rules, but just something to keep so that we can remember. Delete. So we have apatoma going to apatoma, going to apatoma, going to apatom. All right, so we've lost these vowels. Let's see what are the other effects of this. So let's take afitohua. And what does this become? Aftoh. Aftoh. Okay, let's see another one. Yosetamia. This is the name of the fragrant coast. Presumably these people are not going to live in the fragrant coast, but they might still have a name for it. So Yosetamia. So we have Yosetamia. Yosetamia. Right? Yosetamia. Yeah, Yosetamia. What else do we have? Fetu. So we have fet. Yakama. So here's a case where we have a very different looking outcome. So instead of yak, so we lost the schwa in Ustamia call, yakam, or yagam. Here we are going to lose the a, yakma. Okay, so and similarly for fasana, protocol fasana, we're going to lose the second a, so fasna. Similarly, fakwale. Fakule. Okay. Cool. Anakwo. Ankwo. I like this. Okay. Now we need. Okay. All right. Yes. I kind of had a moment when I saw what you just wrote, so I'm just going to read it out. So I'm here for good time writes. For lang 3, what if the intervocalic voicing rule ranks higher than the schwa drop? So it comes before the schwa drop, so that there ends up becoming a distinction, a phonemic distinction between voiced and voiceless consonants. Kind of like what happened in the history of English. For fricatives, yes, let's do that. So let's work on, we can work on these, kind of at the same time as well. So lang 3. So intervocalic voicing. Let's see if I can, maybe, I don't know. We're always limited in our real estate, aren't we? Intervocalic voicing, schwa deletion. So lang 3 might actually be more closely related to Ustamia call than lang 2, because it shares this schwa deletion. Although no, because we'd have an ordering paradox then, so maybe not. Okay. So Apatoma. So I'm gonna need my IPA keyboard. I'm gonna my IPA keyboard for this, and then I want to get to Luke's suggestion, because I like that. I like me a chain shift. Okay, so we are going to need to voice things in between vowels. So here we have, let's get over. We have avido. Where does that live on this keyboard? There we go. Avidore, and then we have avidor. And here we have alupa. So we have aluba. Let's see. Let's do Apatoma. Abdoma. Are we going to get Yagma? So Yagam, sorry. Are we actually going to get a contrast here? I think we might not get a contrast here, because I'm trying to find a way where we wouldn't have a dropped, where we'd have a schwa deletion with or we would have some case where we contrast voiceless and voiced. Well, okay, I know a way. Let's delete all final vowels. So in addition to the schwa deletion, we also delete final vowels. So maybe we do the schwa deletion first, then the intervocalic voicing, then final vowel deletion. So this, I think, should get us to a contrast. Let's try this again. So avidor. So this is still going to be voiceless, and yeah, this will do us. And that's alub, aptoma, and yagam. Yeah, so now we do have contrastive. Now we will have contrastive voicing in word final position. Let's see if we can find a case that sort of proves it. I can find it if I really try. Okay, so oops, wrong one. Antok. This would give us, because we delete the schwa first, and so it doesn't allow us to trigger the intervocalic voicing. And then let's contrast this with anagwo, which gives us anag. There we go. That's a near minimal pair. Near enough for what we can fit on the screen anyway. So we have derived a voicing contrast here. Okay, let's go to what Luke said about this chain shift. This is really interesting. So K could become H and Q could become K. So I'm going to interpret this as the labialized velar qu would become K. So in that case, what we could do is, because we don't actually have the K, the uvular in this language yet, or at all yet. So which one are we going to do this for? Lang 2 or Lang 3? Do we want to have a... Let's have our... let's use this chain shift idea. Let's start with qua. So let's have k debucalize, k debucalize to ha, yahma, and qua lose its rounding and go to ka. So anko, yahma. And because we're debucalizing things, we can lose the distinction between the stop and the fricative. Afto, excuse me. This goes to aftoch, but then if we have one that's not, do we have one that's, excuse me, I need to find if we have, yeah, something like, no, I don't know. Do we have actually any unrounded hua? I guess we don't. That's kind of weird. Okay, that's cool. I'm into it. So then let's just lose the rounding on hua. So here we have aftoch, anko, aptom, fakle, fasna, fach. I'll just fill some of these out. Yostako. So this is our initial stress. Yoseta, yosta. So K to H. Qu to K. And Qu to H. Okay, so that's cool. L'aqua, this just becomes lac. Can we find another interesting word? Let's use our anatokwa, our home word. So here we have antok. Yeah. Okay. What else do we do? Okay, I kind of want to take these labiovelars from in Lang 3, and I kind of want to turn them into labials. So this is something that happens in some languages. Labiovelars can become, they have two parts, right? You have the velar element, the k in qua, and you have the labial element, the w section. And so sometimes labiovelars can turn into either velars or labials. And so it's by no means unheard of for things to go down like this. So instead of avidoh, you get avidof. Anag, anab. Antok, antop. So we're going to turn all of our labiovelars into velars. Into labials. That's the whole point. So then let's see if we can, is there anything else that's kind of juicy here? So laqua becomes lap. What else? Fahua becomes faf. Faquale. So this, schwa deletion doesn't apply. Intervocalic voicing does. Final vowel deletion does. And labiovelars to velars. So we get Fabol. And this is where it starts to get kind of cool when you put all these words next to each other. So we have a family where you have faculi, facle, and fabol are all cognates, meaning already. Okay, so we can probably do more. Just for the sake of completion, so we can have some more full cognate sets. We have Oops. Yosta. Yostag. Yep, that's right. Kelaya. This is something. This is going to become Kelya. And this is going to become Kelai. Goli is going to become... Oops, I was wrong. This is going to become Helya. Goli bird is going to become Pol or Gol. Okay, this is kind of cool. One other... Yeah, what else can we do to make this a bit interesting? Okay, let's look at this umasa. We have imas. Here we have deleting the even numbered vowels, umsa. That's fine. And here we have umas, and that's fine. So imas, umsa, umas. I think we need some vowel changes. I think we need some vowel changes. What can we do? What can we do to make one of these a little bit weirder? We could add some, I don't know, we could add some umlaut or something. So when you have oh yeah, let's add some umlaut in lang 3, because we already have this final vowel deletion, so we know we're going to get new contrastive vowels out of this. So let's say umlaut front before front vowels, except we have to do this. How do I get this over? There we go. We have to do this. Front vowels before front. So very early. So we need to take, this is lang 3. So we need to have Avidof rather. Where is a front vowel? Give me a front vowel, please. Fakole. Fabol. Where is that? Oh. Here we are. And I only have it going over one syllable. We might change our mind on that, but Paquale, Apatoma, Fetu, anything else? Yosatamia. Okay, so this is going to need let's just do this. Let's do this one step at a time so we can see the process. So I'm just gonna, because I have no more room on the screen, I'm just gonna do this here. So we start off with, I remember this was a compound word, that's why there's a hyphen in it. So we start out, this is our input, our protoform, Yosatamia. Then we get umlaut, so front vowels front before front vowels. So we get Yosatamia. Then we get schwa deletion, Yostamia. Pronounce every syllable. We get intervocalic voicing, nothing going on there. We get final vowel deletion, Yostamia. E. Yeah, I don't love it, but let's just keep it. Yostami. And labials, we don't have any here, so they got big. Yostami. Okay. What else do we have? Koli. So here we need Girl, girl, girl. That's right. La, mo, ma. Okay, so that's all the ones that we have there. Okay. Yes. Why don't we do some nasalization? Let's Frenchify. Let's Frenchify Lang 2 a little bit. So vowels before nasals, nasalize, and the nasals delete. So nasal. Let's just call this nasalization. And let's have this happen in. So in Lang 2, so we have, instead of anko, we would then have, where is my nasalization diacritic? There it is. We have anko, antok, apton, it's a long nasal. Well, let's just finish this process. Unsa. Oh, that's cool. Let's go through and let's make sure we have reflexes for all of these as we go. So alupa, initial stress, delete even numbered vowels, alpa, nothing else to be done there. Yafalo, initial stress, yafalo is already initial, yaflo, yaflo, lafu, this becomes laf, lo stays lo, ma stays ma. All right, that's all you can see. Let's leave it at that. And I don't, do we have any more nasals? Yostamia. Now the question is, do we also want to nasalize the vowels before nasals that are in the onsets of syllables? I think we kind of do. Yostam. Oh wait. Yep. Okay, we're of a similar mind. Yostanya. Ooh. Nasalization fun. Yostanya. And do we have any other? We don't think we have any others, do we? No. Not on this screen anyway. Okay. So let's finish up let's leave Lang 2 for 1 second. Let's finish up our reflexes for Lang 3. So we have, get rid of this. So the fa is just going to be fa. Fazan. Fed. Uv. Yaval. Lav. Lo. Ma. Okay. Great. So then let's see if we have anything interesting. So do you remember our text about the swan and the raven? So this was called Hoska Papayawi. And I still don't know what to do with the stress in Yustamiakal, but so it's called Hoska Papayawi. Let's try and put that into our 3 new languages. Oh, sorry, 2 new languages. So we have to make some to go down to find. Oh, okay, Payawi is here. So let's copy over our rules. And this is kind of a little test to see if I've actually, when I'm doing some diachronic conlanging, have I actually made something interesting. And just to translate a short little phrase. So I don't think we're going to get anything out of pa. That's going to be the same everywhere. What else do we have? Payawi. So initial stress, delete even numbered vowels, Papayawi. And we get nothing else. In Lang 3, we have Papayawi. We have intervocalic voicing, which doesn't apply. We have final vowel deletion, Payao, Payao, Payao. Okay, that's pretty. I think we could tweak them a little bit. I'd really love to have one lose P. Maybe what we could do is, because the labial velars are becoming labials, why don't we lose our labials first? So basically P and F become nothing. Zero being nothing in this case. So this will get us a little bit more towards strangeness. So ayao. Oh, Luke, I see some nasal harmony, if that's what you're referring to. Having the nasal vowels infect surrounding vowels. We could put in some nasal harmony. Let's go down this road of getting rid of our original labials first, and then let's turn our attention there. So, oh yeah, we're not going to delete our M. That can stay, but P and F are going to be deleted because those are going to have new P and F come from qua and hua. Okay, so let's get rid of our original labials. Oh, we already have this up here. That's brilliant. Lakwa, okay, lavu. So this is just going to become oops. Sorry. I'm struggling here. Data management. Very tough. Maybe we should have this occur a little bit earlier before the intervocalic voicing, so I don't have to make a complicated rule. P and F to 0. And let's copy that down here so that I don't get confused later. I know there's the height of organization going on here. So then let's get rid of alu. So we have alu, atoma, abol, azan, af, ed, u, yal. We can just turn this into a long vowel, yal. So we don't have vowel hiatus sequences sneaking up on us. Yakama, yostako, galaya, kolilavu. Okay, so I think we've gotten rid of all of them. So now it's looking a bit... Oh, aidof. Now it's looking a bit different. So instead of so we have hoska papayawi in Yustamiakal. We have something Papayawi in language 2, and we have something ayao in language 3, which is starting to look divergent enough for my liking now. So let's translate our raven word, which is where is it? Okay, so the protoform is huasakwa, which I actually really love that word. So let's get rid of, so what's this going to come out to in language 2 first? So huasakwa, delete even numbered vowels, so that's going to get rid of our schwa. So let's just run through the whole thing. Huasakwa, I'm not going to write the stress. Huasqua, now we have our nice chain shift here. Get you a little bit more room. You can see it. Hey, it's just under me. So our forms are huasqua, heavens. We delete the even number of vowels, then we do our chain shift, so we have chaska. And nasalization doesn't apply, so we have chaska. Great. So that's our form for crow, or is it raven? Yeah, it's raven. So we have hosko and chaska in lang 2. Clearly related, but slightly different. Now let's evolve it in lang 3. Huasakwa. Here we're going to delete schwa. We lose our original labials. There aren't any. We have intervocalic voicing. There isn't anything that applies to huasq. And then, oh, here's the coup de grace. We have fasp. So from huasakwa, we have fasp. Oh. Yes. That is really good. I really like that. Okay. So then the title of our story in language 3 is Papayawi. Instead of Hoska Papayawi. And to be, for the benefit of those who aren't used to our romanization, this is something more like, this is a uvular fricative, hoska. And allophonically, we back vowels, we back a at least next to the uvular. So we have hoska, hoska papayawi, and faspa ayaw. I really like this. I really like this. Okay. So, Luke makes an interesting point. What if the P and F become approximants, except approximants instead of being deleted? Well, we do have another language, don't we? Let's make 3A and 3B. So these are going to be related languages. We can, instead of having, so the umlaut happens first, then the schwa deletion, and then we lose our P and F. But in 3B, we get all of these. We get these first changes, except instead of P and F going to nothing, we get P and F going to I mean, what could they go to? We could have them go to so something like this bilabial. I mean, this is probably what happened in 3A as well, but then it just kept going to deletion. But we get P and F going to fa, and I don't know. What do we could do ha. So in this case, we are definitely intruding on the ancestral. Oh, no, we're not intruding on anything. Okay, great. So then, what we want to do with that, let's use a few illustrative words to sort of, establish ourselves with this lang 3b. Apologies for the scrolling. I know it's annoying. And we're running out of room, so you can't see lang 2 here, but that's okay. We're working on the 3. Yeah, the labial dental approximant. The thing is, that's going to be voiced. It could happen if we had the intervocalic voicing come first, and then we have P and F turning into ra. Or P and F turning, Well, we could have B and V definitely turning into ra. And then we could have the P and F that remain doing what we had decided before. So turning into maybe F and H. And then we have this F, R. Yeah. Let's run with it and see what happens. Because if it makes something cool, then... So this is a great word to play with. Afitoche. So we umlaut a. Afitoche. We delete schwa. We voice intervocalically avi doche. Then we turn this into ari doche. Avi doch. Sorry. And then ari doch. And then, yeah, that's that word done. Unless we add more changes to this, which we probably should. What more could we do? What could we do? Maybe we could have some sort of a... Ari doch. This is that labial dental approximate's tough for me to say. Ari doch. Maybe what we want to do... You know, palatalization is always a fun change. We could just add that in here. So everything... So consonants before front vowels or y. Can palatalize. That's a fun change. That always gets makes people happy. And then we could mess around with them after that. Alveolar plosives could become fricatives. Yes. Okay. So let's. Where are we? Yeah, we got to minimum. Let's play with this because I think laying 3B could be a lot of fun. So maybe let's leave palatalization for a while, and then let's play with the alveolars. So basically, we could have T and we could have D turning into the. D turning into the. And then the question from Here for a Good Time of can ch become sh? Ch can definitely become sh at least in two stages. Ch, here, sh. That's a thing. I think that happens in some varieties of German. But we'd want it to happen in this sort of palatalizing environment. So maybe we do want palatalization. Let's palatalize things so that then we can have interesting outcomes for these. So for different things. So let's write this as palatalized ch, so here, this palatal fricative, which is then going to become a postalveolar sh. Yeah. Okay, so let's use that. And sadly we can't fit everything on the screen anymore. Let's take 3A because we're not working on that actively right this second. We're going to make this 3B something special, I tell you right now. So, habido, and we're also going to need to palatalize habido. And then what we'll do, I think what we'll do is we'll palatalize to tease these sounds apart so that we can have two series, one palatalized and one not, and then we can mess with them and then lose the palatalization later, and maybe mess with the vowels so that it's not obvious what happened. It's all about clearing or sort of covering your tracks. Okay, so alupa. What happens here? We get alur. Let's find something that would actually palatalize. Do we have anything? Am I just not seeing it? Coli. Okay. So here we have something like col. Oh, I forgot. We have to delete final vowels eventually. Col. And Yosetamia. Let's actually run through this and do all the changes so that we can make sure we've got it right. I need more space. Okay. Apologies if this is cramped. Apologies if this is utterly cramped. And now I need more space here. Okay. So, oh, we'll just put it here for now. So we have Yosetamia. Yosetamia. What? Oops. Okay, that's two hotkeys too close to each other. Umlaut. So we umlaut to. I honestly don't know sometimes. Watch someone realize that he's aging out of the demographic that is fluent with every single interface on the internet. Live. That's what we should call this show. Okay, so schwa deletion. Intervocalic voicing does not apply. Palatalization does apply. Yosetamia. We don't need to change any of these things. Here. Yosetami. Yeah, you know, it doesn't yet. I haven't yet found that one word that just makes this language pop. I think what we need to do is let's take a page from French. So palatalized consonants are going to turn into sequences of y plus consonant as long as there's a vowel before them. So instead of having avido, we go to aivido. Or, right, this is a glide. Aivido. And here we don't have yostamyi. We have yostaimi. Here we don't have kol. We have coil. And I think this is some good stuff here. Yes, let's do facole. So here we have facole already. Let's do it properly. So input facole, vowels front before umlaut, or sorry, vowels front before front vowels, which is umlaut. Sometimes I just don't know. Schwa deletion, no. Intervocalic voicing, yes. Palatalization, yes. Faguele. B F becomes H. Haguele. I almost, if we're going to be doing d to the, it feels wrong not to do g to r. So let's let it join the fun. And then, so and then we don't do anything here. We delete final vowels, and then we have our secondary articulation, the palatalization. Oops. And here I put it on the wrong side. Apologies. This is the kind of stuff you'd edit out, but we're doing it live. So, Haroil. Oh my goodness. And you know what? While we're at it, let's have W's do the same, or labialized velars will also throw out a W in front of them. So, Haroil. And that's weird. And then, what we could do to have even more fun is, just like we've intervened here before we mess around with before we lose the palatalization, we take this, we wait until the sound's in this palatalized stage, and then we change it, and then it doesn't get to participate in any of the palatal games. Similarly, we can do that with other things too. But I think we will probably have to leave that for next time, because I see we have run entirely out of time. So let's take a look at some of our, just as we look at this, yes, you're right. Languages 3A and 3B don't appear to be related anymore, and that's excellent. Like, you can sort of see it, but not quite. And so I'm very happy with this. I'm going to attempt to pronounce some of these things. So we have I think probably the best example is this, and thank you for suggesting it, this protoform facole, which means already. We have faculi, meaning already in Justamiakal. In Lang 2, we have fakle. In Lang 3A, we have abel. And in Lang 3B, we have hauroil, or something like that. I absolutely love it. Another example that's not as dramatic, kuli, protoform koli. In Justamiakal we have kuli. In Lang 2, we have hol. In Lang 3A, we have köl. In Lang 3B, we have koil. We need to round that. Yeah, why didn't we round that? Koil. So I'm getting French vibes from Lang 3B because of this. First because of the front vowels, and then the stuff we've done with the palatalization. I could see just absolutely destroying most of these consonants, so that we don't have anything like aido. We have something like ayo, or something like that in the future. Or especially because we need to get rid of that secondary articulation. So we have something like aido. Why not just turn that into ayo, IO, and give it the French treatment of just basically destroying all the consonants. Oh my goodness, this has been an amazingly fun time. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been spectacular. The saga of these languages will continue as we go through the weeks. We're just going to keep developing them more and more, and hopefully they can serve as an example, sort of a worked example of how to go about starting a conlang and then developing it and then developing it and then developing it. And we could even get into some world building. I mean, we've done a little bit with our Fabol, but I think the next step would probably be to reconstruct some grammar for the proto-language and then translate our little Fabol into all of the different descendants. So that I think will be a lot of fun. Maybe we'll do that next week. Otherwise, thank you all so very much. I'm going to sign off now, and just ponder all the different possibilities that these languages have to offer. If you have any ideas for sound changes and you're watching this later on YouTube, leave them in the comments. And thank you so much again. I will see all of you. Let's go back to the full screen for the sign off. I will see all of you next time. Thank you so much for joining me, and Happy New Year.